Hey guys, this is Levi Whalen. I'm going to be showing you in this episode how to make drums and how to um, arrange your samples in a way that sounds good. So I've had a lot of questions about drums, and I'm going to try to answer as many of those as possible in this without making it too long. So the first question I had was, how do I get the drum samples to sound clean? Um, I think a lot of that has to do with your sample material. So what you're starting with. Um, so in this one, I have all Vengeance samples that I bought. Um, and so I'm using these, and I just kind of picked ones that I thought sounded good. And so I'll just kind of show you what this sounds like. Okay, so let's get down to it. So I have two different kick drum sounds right here. That's just the main kick, which just really has a long tail. Kicks, what gives you the good sound is it's a sine wave. Okay, so if you have just like this slap without a tail, it's not gonna have any of that punch because or that that bass because that's what's actually making the sound. The feeling is the actual wave of that. So you gotta have a good sample for that. And then what I usually do is I kind of split up my kicks into two different samples or more. And so I find one that has a good high, nice slap, and then I will cut the lows off of that. So together, sound like this, plus this noise here. Okay, and then, I just kind of found sounds that I liked. It's not really, there's not really a rule, but just do what sounds good to you. And the thing with patterns is it has to be a pattern. If it's just kind of random stuff thrown on there, it's not going to make sense. Musically, it's not going to make sense. There's not going to be kind of a rise and fall to how the pattern works. So here, let's I'll mute my kicks so you can kind of hear. So it's kind of there's a rhythm to it. There's a cadence to it. So at the end of every 4 bars, there's kind of something happening or something not happening in order to build suspense or to make it feel like it's actually coming around to the beginning again. So here I have a lot of things happening. So it kind of shows, okay, we're about to get into the first pattern again. And so I really think it's just you have to have a little bit of music theory knowledge, basics, and a lot of music theory is intrinsic. We already kind of know it automatically just because you're around music so much. It's around us. It's all the time. We're always listening to music. So, subconsciously, you always kind of know what's already there. So I think part of being a music producer and actually, purposefully saying I'm gonna do all these things here is like you kind of relearning what you already knew. And everyone I think has this ability to do this. Just if it really works for you or not. So, but that's a whole other topic. It's kind of psychological. But I hope this gave people some ideas about how I'm doing patterns. And so now I'm going to get into the effects a little bit. So like I usually have, I have a sausage fattener on here. And so I'll show you how that sounds without. And then with that. So it's a huge difference, just it's punchy. And on this, I have, how to explain this. So I have an effects rack that has the clean, that just totally dry right here. And then I have a smash version, just a little bit, not too much, just to kind of give it a little bit more body. And then this one here is a totally just thrashed sound, just to give it kind of a gritty sound. So it's not really loud, but it just adds a little bit of grit to that kick, and to the other elements, just give some cool sound to it. So yeah, that's that. You know, how to make them sound clean. Just use good material and keep it tight. Well, I had one person ask about kicks and ask about their samples sounded too boomy, and I think what could be happening there is your tail is each tail is kind of dragging into the next. So if you're using Ableton, if you load a kick into the drum rack here, you can adjust the sustain and the release so that it actually pulls this back a little bit, and will make it more go to full silence before the next kick hits. Otherwise, you might have them overlapping, and then it gets in the way of the bass, and you can't really do much with that, and it just sounds muddy and it's rubbish. So you can keep your kicks short. I can even show you. So, you know, you can do a lot with that. So hopefully that helps. And I will see you guys next time.